Howdy folks, I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Our first story is titled, Am I the Jerk for Walking Out on a Date Night After My Boyfriend Got Me a Bikini Instead of a Purse? Throwaway, I'm a 25-year-old female and my boyfriend Seth is a 28-year-old male and we've been together for 2 years. Yesterday we went out for a date night and we decided to hang out at the mall before going to dinner. While we were there, I came across an adorable purse that I loved. Before I could say anything, Seth looked at the price tag and said, "Whoa, $40? That's way too expensive. So, don't get any kind of ideas. Ha ha, ha ha." I was kind of bummed, but I chuckled and told him I agreed. It's too expensive. Shortly after this, I had to rush into the bathroom, and I was in there for about 20 minutes. After I came back, Seth said that he had a surprise to show me at dinner. I was excited because I figured he must have bought me something, maybe even the purse. We arrived at the restaurant. Seth grabbed his backpack and told me to close my eyes. After I opened my eyes, Seth was holding up a hot pink bikini from the mall. At first I was confused, and then I asked him how much it cost, and he told me $45. $5 more than the too expensive purse. I then asked him how he could buy something that costs more than the purse I saw. And he said, "I know, but I saw this bikini and I just couldn't say no. It's so you, babe." I don't know what came over me, but I felt so hurt and insulted in that moment. When it's something that I want, it's too expensive, but when it's something he wants, the price is not a problem. I don't even wear bikinis. I've never once worn a bikini. So that gift made it even more weird. I put the bikini back into his backpack, got up, and drove home. He's furious with me, calling me a spoiled brat, and said that I was being petty. Am I the jerk? Alright, OP. I don't think that you're being spoiled here. If this had been premeditated, if he had gotten you a bikini weeks ago and he had bought it as a birthday present or something like that and you just didn't like it, then I could see why he would say that you were being spoiled, just because you didn't get that purse that you saw today instead. That would be a little bit of a different situation. In this situation, though, it seems like he saw something that he liked and he wanted you to have and bought a present for you that was basically a present for himself. So that's what this seems like. What do you folks think? Do you think this was more of a present for him, or do you think that this was a present for her? I don't know. So I don't know that what you did here was an overreaction. I think that you didn't want the gift. He got your hopes up, with being like, "Oh, I got you a present." And then, okay, on top of that, if it had been a $20 bikini where it wasn't as expensive as the purse, then that might be understandable, because then he'd be like, "Yeah, I got you a bikini," or something like that. Or maybe if he had gotten you a $20 purse instead that he thought you might like, or something that matches your personality. But again, if you've never worn a bikini in the entire time that you've known him, and now suddenly, 2 years into the relationship, he's like, "Oh, here, have an expensive bikini for $45. That just seems a little tone deaf, especially after the conversation about the purse. And on top of that, a purse is something that you can use on a daily basis. I mean, how often are you going to wear a bikini, especially if you never wear a bikini? And the answer is probably pretty self-evident. So I don't think that you're being a jerk in this situation. I don't think you overreacted. I think that he just is kind of being tone deaf and insensitive. So that's my thoughts. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk. The bikini wasn't a gift for you at all. It was entirely for himself, that he expected you to go along with it because he called it a gift. He's mad at you because you didn't give him credit for his thoughtless gift. That after 2 years together, he should have known that it wasn't something that you'd like. He's calling you a petty, spoiled brat for not appreciating his selfish attempt to make you model a gift for him that he got for himself. Buy yourself the purse and tell him that he can wear the bikini. Yeah, he can wear the bikini. Go buy him a bikini in his size, and get him a gift and, then be like, I got you a gift here. You'll really like it. And then give him the bikini. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Also, OP, $40 for a purse that you'd use every day is relatively cheap. $45 for a bikini seems like a lot when they're usually $20. Go get yourself a purse and return the boyfriend. Not the jerk. Return the boyfriend. This reminds me of all those dudes who buy lingerie as a gift for their partners when it's actually a gift for themselves, which is why she's absolutely not the jerk. It's the thought that counts. And in this case, it seems he was thinking of himself, so not the jerk. And then someone replies, they had us in the first half, not gonna lie. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for expecting my stepdaughter to cover the cost of items broken under her care? My actual daughter, Willow, is a good girl, but she's very energetic, and unless she is with someone who can pay attention, things can go wrong. My stepdaughter Ashley is well aware of this, and she usually looks after her on weekends while her father and I are out, which is why I think it's fair for her to take responsibility for anything that does go wrong under her care. I recently purchased a beautiful sculpture, something that I had my eye on for a while, a unique piece that held a lot of meaning to me. Ashley was reminded to take care and make sure nothing happened to it. And, cut a long story short, Ashley was too busy watching Netflix over watching Willow, which resulted in it being completely destroyed. While I'm not hurting for money, this was a one-of-a-kind sculpture, and I don't think it's fair for Ashley to stand by and let it be ruined and walk away unscathed. Ashley has a part-time job and more than enough money to buy herself clothing, makeup, junk food, and a number of other things. So I don't think that this is an unreasonable request, but her mother went ballistic after she found out that her father and I expected her to save up to cover the cost of the item. I don't personally see the problem here, but a few family friends have gotten involved and the situation has gotten rather messy. Am I being unfair here? Edit, for everyone asking, Willow is 6 and Ashley is 17. Alright folks, what do you folks feel is the right thing in this situation? Do you think that Ashley should pay for the sculpture, or do you think that she should get off scot-free here?
Get off scot-free.
Amber says get off scot-free. Alright, so my thoughts on this are as follows. Ashley's 17 and Willow's 6, and it's not abundantly clear whether or not Ashley's getting paid for this gig. But the one important thing that if you buy an important sculpture or something like that and you know you have a rambunctious child, that kind of spells disaster. If you didn't insure that vase, then I don't know. It seems like you took an expensive item, bought a piece of art that was very expensive and brought it into your household and expected nothing to happen to it. I mean, this is like buying a really expensive couch, a beautiful couch, full leather or something like that, beautiful mahogany wood, and then getting angry when you find out that your 6-year-old colored on it with, or a 3-year-old colors on it with like a crayon or something like that. I mean, when you have kids, you have to expect that they're going to ruin things, at least to some degree. You can't expect everything to be nice 100% of the time. Kids do these kinds of things, and that's not to say that they should. And especially if you have a kid who is a handful, you should be a little more cautious, I think, about having expensive breakable things around, especially if they're uninsured. There's a little bit of a confounding factor here as to whether Ashley is being paid or not. It doesn't sound like she is. I think you would have mentioned that if that were the case. So it sounds like you're using her for free labor while you and your husband go out every weekend. And on top of that, on top of all this, I would like to highlight the one sentence that bothers me the most in this letter here. My actual daughter Willow is a good girl, but she's very energetic. So you, for some reason, are labeling Willow as your actual daughter and your stepdaughter as kind of the other person. I think that that says a lot about the situation. It doesn't seem like you really view your stepdaughter as your real daughter, which I think is problematic. I really do. I think it kind of shows a little bit through your letter here. So, yeah, something to think about. Ashley, 17, you know she's not going to watch over her, with a close eye at all times. You bought an expensive piece of pottery that got broken. No, Ashley shouldn't be responsible for this. Plain and simple. If you don't like the job that she did for babysitting, then don't hire her again. Find someone else to babysit. Anyhow, take care and good luck. You're the jerk. If you don't like the way she babysits your daughter, then parent your own child. Literally, she lost me at actual daughter. You're the jerk, OP, based on that sentence alone. I'm wondering if Ashley has a choice in this babysitting arrangement that forces her to look after a 6-year-old every weekend? I'm a parent and I don't leave extremely fragile stuff like expensive statues sitting out with a 6-year-old I know might break it because she's a klutz. I think OP should pay for setting up this whole situation. OP sounds like the absolute archetype of an evil stepmother. How does anyone write that and not realize that they're the villain? You're the jerk. Take care of your actual daughter, then teach her not to break stuff. Dad, hire a real sitter and let your 17-year-old stepdaughter have her weekends. She's not your permanent nanny because you're doing her dad. Alright, our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk for telling my husband to go live with the bookies if he's going to keep gambling away all of our money? I'm a 21-year-old female and my husband is a 24-year-old male, and we have a 7-week-old son together. I stay at home and he works during the week. He spends a lot of time in the betting shops, betting on horses or whatever. Normally he doesn't go completely overboard, and he normally doesn't go until everything that's needed is bought. This week was different. Normally I do the grocery shopping on Friday, but didn't get a chance and wouldn't be able to go until Monday. Husband went out with some friends on Friday evening for a few drinks and to bet on some horses. That wasn't too much of an issue for me because that's what he normally does on a non-lockdown Friday night. It wasn't until this morning when I was down to one nappy and had to run to the petrol station to get something that I realized that he had drained our bank account. My card was declined and I tried again before checking the balance, and there was absolutely nothing in there. I went home and asked my husband how much he lost, and he gave me the real story. I was livid. I began shouting at him. I told him that we were low on just about everything the baby needs, and he's not getting paid again for another 2 weeks. I said our baby needs to eat and have a clean bum, and asked him how he could be so stupid and irresponsible when he's got a kid and a wife to feed. He started with, I can explain, and then I cut him off. I said, no, you can't explain. You can go live with the bookies if you keep going to gamble every penny that we have to feed our child with. He stormed out and said he was going to go stay with a friend and called me all sorts of names, and jerk being one of them. I'm starting to feel really guilty about not approaching this more calmly, and one of my friends thinks that I'm a jerk in a situation for exploding on him. Am I the jerk? Alright, folks. Your bets are down in the comments below as to what I'm going to say here. I think it's probably going to be pretty easy to guess what I'm going to say about this situation. Maybe it isn't. Sometimes, I would say that yelling is not a good course of action here. You were caught off guard. You went to a grocery store. You tried to buy some stuff, expecting that your bank account, that your joint bank account, would have money in it. When you got there, you found out that your child, who you are, caring for and trying to raise, is not going to be able to have their needs met. And the reason why they aren't going to have their needs met is because your husband gambled away all of your money. OP, you need a separate bank account ASAP. He needs to, if you're going to have a relationship like this, he needs to have his own bank account, and you need to have the bank account that has his direct deposit into it or whatnot. If you two are, having a shared joint account, he needs to get his act together. He needs to go to therapy. This is a problem. This is a gambling addiction. And to leave his family with nothing, absolutely nothing, is absolutely disgraceful. I can understand why you were angry about that. He was thinking about himself. He didn't think about you. He didn't think about his child. And now you are going to be without food for 2 weeks. And hopefully you have some kind of support system. Hopefully you have parents or other people who can help you in this situation, because I don't want to see you or your child suffer unnecessarily. This is absolutely terrible. So, no, you're not the jerk. Your husband is a complete moron, and hopefully he gets his act together. If you even want to stay with him at this point in time, because there's no guarantee that he's not going to go off and do this again. So, yeah. Anyhow, take care and good luck. So, not the jerk. He gambled your money, and you're the jerk? Get a divorce and do not put money on the account until you're officially divorced. Good advice: the child care and alimony payments can get garnished from his wages before he has a chance to gamble it away. My best friend ended her marriage when her second son was 13 days old because of similar behavior. This is absolutely marriage-breaking behavior. This was a great example of a perfectly reasonable anger. Anyone telling you that expressing your anger in this situation is gaslighting you. If the next time he speaks to you, he doesn't volunteer a plan on what he's going to do to address his gambling problem, if you gamble to the point of emptying your bank accounts, you have a problem. Then your next call should be for a divorce attorney. You're not going to fix this unless he chooses to take action. If you try to force him to stop gambling, he will just hide it better. Yeah. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving it a like. If you didn't, consider giving it a dislike. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Oh, trying to drown myself. Alright folks, that's the end of this. It was nice knowing you all. But I guess...
Oh, don't die.